just bipolar. No, baby, you're crazy. Yeah, there was a fire. Just a pile of hot trauma. Okay, so let's get into this. My name is Shatavia, and I went to massage therapy school. I am a licensed massage therapist, and my school experience was hell on earth, to put it lightly, truly. I had so many things go wrong in my 5 to 6 months of being in school, and I just really need to share this story. I went to school like almost a year ago, and I just had to like take a breather before I even tell this story, because I graduated in March. I have my list on my phone of everything that happened, because it was just so much. I had to like write it all down. It was just, I could not remember it or tell the story properly without having all the facts. Okay, so yeah, my massage therapy program was 5 to 6 months long. I paid $3,000 out of pocket. The rest was paid by FAFSA, but the tuition honestly wasn't that much. I think it was like there was a discount when I went to school, because no one wants to be a massage therapist and no one was in school, but we'll get to that part. So I think it was about like $7,000, $8,000 with the discount. So yeah, FAFSA covered some of it, and then I had to pay the rest out of pocket. Let's set the scene. Okay, I was in school 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, so I was in school Tuesday through Saturday, 8 hours a day, and I also had to work because I had bills to pay. So I worked 4 hours a day, and then I was in school 8 hours a day, and then I also had to commute, and I was up about 18 hours a day. So I really didn't sleep. Like, I barely slept. Like, my life was very hectic. I was depressed, I was anxious, I was sad, I was lonely, it was awful. And the only reason I could pay my bills is because my boyfriend paid most of my bills. So without him, I would not have made it. Like, it was bad. Y'all don't understand. It was bad, okay? And with the depression and all that was going on, I like barely ate, I barely slept, I barely had time to even do my dishes. Like, my boyfriend he had his own key to my place. He would come over and do my dishes for me. Like, I was bad. Like I didn't have any free time to myself. I was just going, like I was like a hamster on a wheel. Also, there was no parking. That's why I hate Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor is such a terrible place. Like, the parking across the street was like $300 a month. So I had to park a 10-minute walk down the street, and that parking I think was $60 a month, because who has money for that? Like, Ann Arbor sucks. And my actual classroom was in a storage closet. Like, literally, like it was like a little box. Okay, that was my classroom, and I'm spending money for this. And also, there was no lights back there. Like, it was so dark you could go to sleep. Like, all the lights were broken. Like, we were in a little bitty corner, and in the back of the school, no lights, in a storage closet. Like, it was just, we were undervalued, to say the least. We were very underappreciated. And they didn't fix the lights until about 2 weeks before I graduated. Like, my whole term, no lights. And another thing that made this whole experience worse was my neighbors. Like, I lived in a house that had just rooms that you rented, basically, and my neighbors were always so loud, so I could barely sleep. And then also, I had to share a bathroom with one of my neighbors, and it was always dirty, like filth. And then she was crazy. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm just bipolar." No, baby, you're crazy. She told me that there was crackheads that would like go to our bathroom. So I'm like, what? So she's like, yeah, make sure you lock the door all the time. So every time I use the bathroom, I make sure that I lock it when I finish. And then one day she was screaming like at the top of her lungs, talking about, why do you keep locking the bathroom? Like through my door. What? So then I'm like, ain't no hoeing me. I go over there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, let's get this straightened out right here, right now. And she's like, oh, I have diarrhea. So like, stop locking the bathroom door. What? Yeah, that girl's crazy. And then the next day she came over to my place and gave me weed, talking about, oh, well, we should like make amends or whatever. What? I need you to go. You are not right here. Something's not clicking. And then after she bribed me, like a couple of months later, she did move. So that was great. But then my next neighbor was also bad. So the cycle continues. Okay, but let's get into my actual school experience. I had 3 classmates because their class term like overlapped with mine. So they only had a couple of months of school left when I started. And one of them was a boy, and another classmate told me after he graduated and all that, she told me that he went up to another girl and was like, well, you're not getting any younger, so you should date me. Little boy, what? And he was a little boy. He was like 18 and she was like 23. Talking about you're not getting any younger, like she was old. Like he was trying to belittle her to date him. I don't that's just a little anecdote of the type of people that I was surrounded by. Then a couple of months into my program, because I started in November, so what was it, like 2-3 months later, it was winter, and we had a huge severe winter storm in Michigan, and it was so bad, like it was black ice on the ground. Like, so after that, there was just me and one other student, and he broke his arm, so he had to leave the program for a little bit. And you only get 5 days off because our program is so like short and compact. You only get 5 days off, and if you need to take more time than that, you have to take a leave of absence, and it has to be between 10 days and 6 months long. So like even if you just you don't have any more days off or absence days, you have to take that leave of absence or else you're kicked out of the program. Like, it was, I get it, but it's, you know, intense. So he broke his arm and he had to take a leave of absence, and about a month later he came back to class for 1 day, and then he took another leave of absence, which you're not supposed to do. And then I never saw him again after that. So I don't know what happened with that, but that meant that I was the only student now. So it was literally just me and my 3 teachers. And no one wanted to come into the program. Like, no one, there was 2 people who started, and they started at the next term, but they quickly dropped out. Like, it was just me. And I feel like after it was just me, bad stuff just kept happening. And I don't know why. It was like, hey, you're alone, so let's throw some things at you. Because then there was the fire. Yeah, there was a fire. So I'm driving to school. I get out of my car and I see smoke. And I'm like, maybe the sky's just doing sky things. I don't know. I'm walking to school and I just keep getting closer and closer. I'm seeing more smoke. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I get closer, closer, closer. And I see fire trucks and police cars blocking off the block. Like, I literally had to maneuver my way and detour around because I'm like, what's going on? I finally see what everybody else is seeing, and there's just a cloud of black smoke. Like, you can't even see my school. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? So I go into the cafe, and that's where like all the other students are, and we finally find out that there's a fire going on. And even though there's a fire going on, like, there's people in the text forum, and they're like, do we have school today? Like, are we supposed to go in there? Like, what are we supposed to do? And 3 pregnant girls went into the school. Like, you are with child. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? And so we finally get the notice like an hour or 2 later from the director, and she's like, okay, there's no school today. It'll just, like, everybody will be like like clocked in, because we had to clock in because we had to get a certain amount of hours of school. So they just said that whole day will all be clocked in. And then I needed that day off. I was so depressed and sad. Like, I literally went home and went to bed until I had to go to work. Like, I was so... This school just like crushed my spirit. And then the next day I found out that the vape shop across the street from the school burned down. Okay, now let's get into the actual drama of my school. So my teachers were underpaid and they were open about it. Like, they would literally just talk to us students about it. Like, me and then, you know, my classmates before. They would talk about it. They would like, you know, we're not getting paid enough and we're looking for other jobs and we're not getting enough hours and you're the only student, so we don't know if we're all gonna get paid. Like, they were just telling me these things during lunch. I'm like, I get it, but I'm also working full-time. I'm also working full-time with no pay. And yes, I'm in school, but they were taking advantage of me, for real, because I would have a schedule of clients and they would, you know, pay the school, but I didn't get any of the money. And then I also couldn't get tips. So I had my schedule of about 3 to 4 clients a day. And I would have to massage all of them and then get, you know, evaluated by my teachers. And every time I had a second of no clients, somebody would add themselves to my schedule. The director of the school added herself to my schedule like twice. I don't think that's okay. And she was like, oh, I just need a massage so bad. So do I. Hey, so do I. I'm the only student. I got no massages at all. That's like the only perk of being in massage therapy school. I didn't get it, but you are, for free. And then also, they would put other people on my schedule, like the teachers or the directors. They'd be like, yeah, come get a massage. Like, they would be promoting for my labor. So I had to massage the director, and then I also had to massage one of the teachers because they're like, oh, she had a long trip, she needs a massage. What? Hey, what? Hey, what's going on? And then I feel like there was another teacher that I had a massage too, but I'm not sure. I think it was the esthetician teacher. She wanted to get a massage for me, but my schedule was so busy because everybody knew that I was leaving soon and that there were no other students. So they were like, you know, come on, let's get all this money out of her before she graduates and we can't make any more money from these massage therapy students. So that was just awful. Like, I felt like I was just being like used, you know. And you can say, oh, I need the practice, or hey, I'm there to learn, or whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, I felt used and I didn't fucking appreciate it. Like, I was in severe pain. Like, my neck and my back was in severe pain because I was basically working like, because I was at school 8 hours a day and I had to work 4 hours. So I was basically working 12 hours every day. And so every time I would try to bring this up to them, how I feel about this, they would just like shut me down. Like, all my teachers except for one of them, like, I had 3 teachers and one of them was my favorite. Like, I feel like I could actually communicate these things to him and he was actually listening, you know. But everybody else, they would just shut me down. Like, I was literally crying in the middle of class because I just felt so tired and sick of this. Like, it was just the worst experience of my life. There was a morning class which I was taking for 8 hours, and then there was a night class that was 4 hours long, and they had their own, you know, set of teachers. One of their teachers left to go to Europe because she got like a opportunity to be a massage therapist there, so she was gone. And then the other night shift teacher got fired because he was helping the students cheat. Like, he would literally give them all the answers to the test during the test. Like, not, well, think about it, this means that and this means, like, the answer. He would give them the answer, and so none of them actually knew the material. And I guess other teachers found out and told on him, and he got fired, and all of his students got like really upset about this. Like, they felt betrayed by this. So my teacher, my favorite teacher, had to go to night shifts because they didn't have enough staff. which was so soul crushing because he was the only person who listened to me. And then a couple of weeks into him being on night shifts, he was diagnosed with cancer. So then they had even less staff. He's fine now though. He had his treatment. It was like a rare type of cancer, but he caught it early and he's fine. I still text him regularly. So there was also that. And then my other teacher, because I only had 2 at this point, my other teacher had to start going to nights. Like they would do alternating night shifts. So I'm just like kind of left, you know, fending for myself. It's my last month or whatever. And I have to like be on my own schedule, you know. Like I felt that way the whole program. Like I would literally ask them, well, aren't we supposed to be doing this material today? Well, am I supposed to be turning in this paperwork today? They had no clue. I just had to, you know, be my own boss basically, like, and speak for myself when it came to any of my coursework. Or else, because then if it wasn't in the system, I would get a bad grade for it, you know. Like I was just on top of things. And then when I would communicate that, hey, I'm always on top of things, where are you guys, they would just be like, you just need to like slow down, like you're the only student, like you just need to like calm down, like it's okay, we're gonna get everything done, like all the material is gonna get done. Yeah, all the material is gonna get done because I'm the only one worried about my materials and I need to get the hell out of here. So yeah, it is gonna get done. So what are we even talking about here? And then after all this happened with the teachers, there was like a whole switch that went off in the school. So I would eat my lunch with my teachers in the classroom or like in the back stairwell, because I just like to watch my stories and eat my food. You know, this is my only couple of minutes to myself before I have to go back to work. And they made it so you can't go back to the back stairwell anymore. Like they locked the door. They finally fixed the lights. And they took away the microwave that we had downstairs. Because this was like a pretty big school. And there was 3 different there was 3 different programs going on. So there was cosmetology, there was esteology, and there was massage. And so there was like everybody was a girl. All the students were girls. So we only had 2 microwaves upstairs, and then we had an air fryer, but I guess it got taken away. And so I didn't want to go all the way upstairs and wait in line, because I was trying to do wait in line to cook my meal, and I only have 30 minutes, you know. But they took our microwave away, and then they said that I had to eat upstairs so that I could like mingle with the other students. I'm not mingling shit. So we got a new microwave. My favorite teacher, he brought in a new microwave. And then I would microwave my food, and I would go upstairs to the front stairwell. Don't play with me. What are you talking about? I'm not mingling with nobody. I don't even want to be here. So that's how I had to spend like the last month of me being there. And then we got in a new student because the new class started. And it was 1 student. And to be honest, I didn't like her. She was just like a know-it-all type of my way or the highway type of person, and it made no sense because, hey, you're a student. You'll never get your way. From what I've experienced, you're not gonna get your way, okay? And she just kind of came in snobbish, you know? Like she came in giving off that vibe. And she would randomly leave the class in the middle of the class, and my teacher would have to go find her. And she'd be like laying down in a massage room, and my teacher would be like, you know, you can't just leave, like I'm giving you the materials, because by that time I only had like 2 weeks left. Why do I keep flinging this? I only had like 2 weeks left, so I didn't need to be taught anything. I just had to study to take my exam, my final exams, because there was 2 final exams that I had to take, and then I had to take my actual licensing exam. So I just was studying. That was all I was doing. And so yeah, she would find her, and she would be laying down, and she would be like, it's just like so much, like I don't think I'm like absorbing it. I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. It's just like I'm just experiencing like so much. Girl, what's so much? You've been here for 2 days. What are you talking about? And the second day that she was supposed to come in, she didn't. She just skipped a day, and you only get 5 absences. And you know what her reasoning was? Oh, I just want to like spend time with my child. I get that. Well, I don't have children, but let's be for real. Hey, let's be fucking for real. And I'm not the only one. My teacher didn't even like her, so. But yeah, that was basically all the things that happened. I mean, there was other things that happened. Just these are like the things that happened in my program. The other things that happen in the other programs are the STology students. They used all of our towels, and then they would cut them up and like make them into rags. So then we had to continuously order towels, and the laundry was always running, and we never had any towels, any robes, or any of that, because the STology students were just awful at doing laundry. They just didn't do it, you know. And so we would always be running out of things while we're having clients. Like, they were making our lives a living hell. And then the cosmetology students had their own floor, so they had their own laundry situation. And their teacher, from what I heard, was just like a bitch. Like, she would literally go up to the clients who were complaining about their hair and be like, well, you got what you paid for. And like, that was it. Like, she would just like cuss out all the clients and all the students. Like, they were all scared of her. Did anything else happen? I'm really trying to think, because that school was like just a pile of hot trauma. Oh my god, so there was an STology student who was transgender. I never met them, so I never had the pleasure of meeting them, because apparently they were a character. And I guess they would like cuss out the other girls and be late to clients and things like that, so they got kicked out of the program. And then they showed up in like a drag outfit, and this was the day of my birthday. This was the day before my birthday, actually. So like, I was out of there, you know. It's my birthday, I'm out, okay? So as soon as the bell rang or whatever, I was gone. Well, the bells didn't ring, but you know, as soon as it was time, I was gone. So I didn't even see this whole ordeal happen, but apparently they dressed up in drag and they were dancing around a street pole yelling obscenities at the STology students. Like, you girls got me kicked out the program, this is why you're this and that and that, and you'll never be that. Like, full blown going crazy. And then the teachers had to come out and like basically shoo them away. So that was also crazy. I didn't see that. I had to get told that, like, they told me about that like a week later. And then the day before my graduation, my teachers got me a little present. They gave me a gua sha kit, which, if you don't know what a gua sha is, I'll probably like put a picture of it around somewhere. But that was really nice, because I loved using gua sha. I didn't really use it before, but I found one in a random little case, and then I started using that on all of my clients. And then it broke. It was a jade one, and it fell on the floor, and the floor was like cement, and it broke. So then they got me my own little kit, which was really nice. But that was basically all of it. I took my licensing exam about 2 weeks later. Yeah, I studied for 2 weeks, and then I took my licensing exam, and I passed on the first try. I have a lot more stories, so I will be making a lot more videos like this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're in a trade, or if you just want to tell me about your school experience in general, definitely leave that in the comments. I would love to read that. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.